Okay, yeah, welcome back to my class again today. Today we want to look at class variable. In the last class, we did instance variable. So I'm just going to look at the class variable today. So without wasting much time, let's get right in. Okay, we have all right. So what is a class variable? A class variable is the variable that is defined inside the class, right? And is common to all the objects of that class. So, so what we will do is we just create class man, then this, and then we'll come here and we'll say apple, right? Apple, and then we'll assign a value to it, 0. And then we'll define the method init, right? And then self name. So we have this here. And then we'll come here, we'll say self dot name, assign name to it. So we have created our class. Now, this is our class that we have created. Now, this one is what we call class variable, right? This class variable is common to the object that we are going to create. It is defined inside the class, but it's not going to be common to all the objects. So the difference between the class variable and the instance variable is that the instance variable is also created inside the class, but is unique to each of the objects. So each object created for the class will have a copy of an instance variable. But a class variable is common to all the objects that will be created for this class. So apple, 0. Then we are going to create the object. So you will say male, let's say male, right? You call man, and then you will give it apple, Adam, right? That is the name you are supplying. Then you come here, you say female, man, if. Now you've created an object of this class, right? And the name is this. But that is not what we are looking for, is not to print out the name. We are concerned about this, which is what? The class variable. Okay. Now, I can now come here and say print mail dot apple. And I can say print female dot apple. So the dot notation is what you use to access the class variable. Same thing as the instance variable. Now, what would this one give me? This one will print out 0. This one will print out 0, right? If I do this, it will print it out on the screen. Now, if I now say man dot apple, I want to modify it equals to 2, right? Once I say mat.apple equals to 2, and then I now come here. So I'm just going to move to this place. So from here. So I'll now say print, right? Print mail dot apple, right? What would this one give me? And I say print female dot apple. What will it give me? Now, this will give me 2, and this will give me 2, right? Now, if I now say I want to modify this apple, but I want to modify it using the what? The object itself. I made this modification to the apple using the class. So I'm able to access the apple using the dot notation inside the class to modify it to 2. And now I decided to print it out. Now, if I say mail dot apple, assign 1 to it, then I come here and I say print, right? Mail dot apple. Here I say print female dot apple. So after making this modification, I'm asking it to print out this and this again on the screen for me. So what will it print out? This one will give me this one will give me mail.apple will give me 1, while this one will give me 2, right? Because I've actually changed it. So what it therefore means is that once the moment I say mail.apple and I change it, then I'm asking it to print it out. It's going to print out the modification for just this mail alone. While this female will still print out the last modification made by the class, which is what? 2. That is what this will do. So what it therefore means is that when you make an adjustment or a modification to a class variable, it's only going to affect that object that made that modification. It will not affect any other object of that class. It's very important to understand this. Otherwise, you might have issue in trying to print out whatever it is that you want to print out. If you enjoyed this class, do not forget to click on the like button and don't forget to share this video. So right now, let's go to the PyCharm and let me demonstrate this for you to see so that you can see these changes that I've made. All right, so this is our PyCharm. Now, let's just create a new one. Let's say new file, and then we'll say class variable dot py. Okay, so just we'll say class man, and then we'll go in and we'll say apple, and we assign 0 to it, and then we'll say dev underscore init underscore self comma name, and then we'll say self dot name assign name to it. All right, so this is the class that we have created. Now let's create an object of the class. We'll say male, and then we'll call man, and we assign Adam to it. And then we'll say female, man, and then we'll assign if to it. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to access this class variable. So print, yes, supply to our print function, and then we say mail. We have created the object mail.apple, and this one we say print female.apple, right? If we run this, what are we going to get? See, it will give us 0. So it's giving us 0, 0. Then we come here and we will say we are going to modify that apple. So we'll say man dot apple, assign 2 to it, and then we'll now copy this all. We'll just paste it here, and then we'll execute this script again. So this one will give us 0, 0. Then we now change the value to 2, and then we reprint it again to see the values. It will give us 2, 2. So you see 0, 0. Then when we modify the value, it gave us 2, 2. Now I'm going to modify the value of apple using the mail object. So mail dot apple, and then I will assign 1 to it, right? Then we will now copy all this again and we'll put it here. Then we'll execute. So you can see this one is giving us 0, 0, which is the first 2 here, right? And then this one is giving us 2, 2, which is this one. After we modify using the class to modify the class variable, the two objects are still carrying the same. But now we now use the mail object to modify the class variable. And when we print it out, when we say print out the value of apple using the male object, it showed us 1. But using the female object, it's still showing us 2. Because this modification that is made here only affects the male object. It doesn't affect the female object, despite the fact that this apple is a class variable, right? So that is just it. So that is what I want to demonstrate in this class to you. In this class. So if you like this class, do not forget to click on the like button. So we'll see in the next class, and in the next class we'll be looking at instance method and then the class method. And also probably we'll look at a static method. So till then, bye-bye.